Ahlan wa sahlan wa marhaban. The first line here is akrahu an uHibba mithl al-naas. And the first word is akrahu, which means I hate. We have the alif hamza at the start to show that it's I do or I am doing something, first person present tense verb. And then we have an, which means that. And which meaning of that? It's that in the sense of coordinating between two verbs. So I hate that, I want that, I wish that. All of these sorts of constructions contain the word an. Then what's on the other side of the an? We have uHibbu. uHibbu is the opposite of akrahu. It means I love or I like. In this context, it's I love. So far we have akrahu an uHibba, which means I hate that I love. Right, we need some more information here. So the next word is mithl. Mithl means like, in other words, similar to. So I hate that I love in a way similar to who or what? Well, we have the word al-naas, which means the people. So literally we have akrahu an uHibba mithl al-naas. I hate that I love like the people. So in other words, I hate that I love, or I hate to love like other people. Okay, the next line is akrahu an aktuba mithl al-naas. And the first word here again is akrahu, which means I hate, an, which means that, aktuba. Aktuba means I write. We can see the root letters kataba, which is the same root letters as the word kitab, meaning book, or maktab, office, maktaba, library, katib, writer. So I hate an aktub, akrahu an aktuba. I hate to write, mithl, like, al-naas, like people. So the first two lines, akrahu an uHibba mithl al-naas, I hate to love like other people. Literally, I hate that I love like the people. Second line, akrahu an aktuba mithl al-naas, I hate to write like other people. Literally, I hate that I write like the people. The third line is awaddu law kaana famii kaniisa. So awaddu means I would like, I love, I wish. It's from the root letters waw, dal, dal, and you have the word wadud, which means loving. You also have the word wid, as in biwiddi, in Levantine dialects, biwiddi, which turns into biddi, it is in my desire. So whenever you hear people saying biddi or baddi, that comes from this root. They use it to mean I want. Biddi kitab, I want a book. Biddi shai, I want tea, etc. Biddi is I want. And it's literally biwiddi, it is in my desire. And here we have the original verb, awaddu, I desire, I wish. Lo means literally if, and there are three words for if in Arabic. We have lo, in, and ither. So they vary in terms of how certain the particular circumstances are. So lo is for 0% certainty. In other words, if something were to happen or could happen, I wish that it could happen, woulda, coulda, shoulda. Okay? The other words for if, you have in, as in inshallah, which is 50-50. And then you have idha, which also means if, but contains a little bit more likelihood. Whereas low is at the other end of the scale, 0% likelihood. So I would, or I have a desire if, in other words, I wish that. Kaana. Kaana means it was. So I wish that it was. Now we need the subject of this kaana. What's the subject? Famii. Fam means mouth. And the E at the end means my, so famii is my mouth. So I wish that my mouth was. Awaddu, I desire or I wish. Low, would that, or if that. Kaana was famii, my mouth. In other words, I really wish that my mouth were, but using the word low, implying, of course, that this is an impossible hope. Now, what does he, the poet, wish that his mouth were? Kaniisa. What is kaniisa? A kaniisa is a church. It's from the root letters kaf, nun, sin, which means to gather up. And it's also the same root as the word Knesset, which is the parliament of Israel, and it's also found in the word kaniisa, which is one of the words for a synagogue. It's also the root letters of miknesa, which is a broom, because the broom gathers together all the things that you sweep. And here we have kaniisa, a church which gathers people together. So I wish that my mouth were a church. That's interesting. And we have another line here just to complete the imagery. We have aHrufii. Now the root letter ha, ra, fa, we have the word harf, which means letter, as in letter of the alphabet. Okay, so aHrufii, ahruf is the plural of harf. In other words, letters, so letters of the alphabet. In other words, the letters or the sounds that you write. Remember, this poem is about writing, and it contains the word aktub there in the second line. So the letters that come out of my pen, or in this case, the letters that come out of my my mouth. aHrufii, my letters were ajraas. Okay, ajraas is a plural and it means bells. In other words, the bells in the kaniisa, the bells in the church. Okay, so awaddu law kaana famii kaniisa. Would that my mouth were a church and the sounds that I uttered were bells.